Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for IDW Sonic the Hedgehog, issue 53. When we last left our heroes, after Metal Sonic destroyed the plane that everyone was on, Sonic, Tails, Bell, and Kit had to make their way through Eggperial City, which they weren't doing a great job of with Metal Sonic still on their tail. But thanks to Kit's deep-seated mental issues, Sonic was able to convince him to help out in the fight against Metal Sonic, allowing the crew to hold him back enough for them to make it to the outskirts of the city, where Metal Sonic did catch up to them for a brief moment. He and Sonic briefly clashed, before an explosion back at Eggman's tower drew him away, because, as we were also finding out as that issue went on, Surge was back. Surge had forced Cubot to help her after encountering him, got this weapon called the Dynamo Cage that, drains power from Wisps, I think it is. And now she is in Eggman's, control room, about to bring the pain to him. Let's dive right on into issue 53. I love this cover here, by the way, of Whisper, who is certainly going to become an important player in this issue, if the cover and the solicit are anything to go by. Fighting a Surge made of pure electricity. It just looks it's just a really, really cool image. But anyway, we have the staff page, our previously on, with the Dynamo Cage, Sonic meeting Kit, the gang escaping, and Sonic noting, that as long as Eggperial City is still here, it's still a threat. And Surge reaching Eggman for a fight. Our roll call here is Sonic, Tails, Kit, Bell, which of course we knew, Jewel and Whisper, who have not been in the story for a while, though the cover does very much imply Whisper's role here, though Jewel was not known, Surge, and Eggman. So with that said, let's dive right on into issue 53, which I think is a bit of I think the last issue ended a bit after this, because it ended with Eggman meeting Surge, right? Whereas his response here is, "Who's in there? It better not be Sonic." And Orbot calls out, "Cubot, speak to me!" Shh, Cubot's not here. I think that's Cubot not wanting to be involved in this. But Surge tells him, "Not Sonic," as she steps out of the smoke. Better. And we see she's being powered by the Dynamo Cage. And I love this panel of her. Eggman looming over her, the top half, his from here to his head, and his arms are in silhouette, just the gleaming of the glasses. It's a really cool image as Eggman stares him down. It's got a bit of, there's also an element of that, first Attack on Titan poster, the Eren staring down the Colossal vibe to it. I don't know, it's just a cool image. And Surge sizes him up. Huh. So you're Eggman. I'm taking your stuff. And Eggman has no idea, has only the vaguest idea of who Surge is. One of the pests who came in with Starline. What are you, some lunkhead flunky he hired? Oh, you don't want to solely connect Surge to Starline. That's going to piss her off more. But Eggman is not giving her the time of day. Actually, I don't care. Robots, don't aim for the head. I want my device back in one piece. As he just leaves to let the Egg Pawns handle it. And the Egg Pawns, all fire as Eggman comments, "What did she think the Dynamo Cage was, a hat? The things I have to deal with." But Orbot has found Cubot, but he notes, "Boss? Oh, what now? I think we may have a bit of a problem." And we see Surge, powered by the Dynamo Cage, has survived all of those shots. And just notes, "Groovy." Which, not a line I expected Surge to say. And we see there's this bit of, I forget exactly the nature of what color Wisp did what. It's been a long time since I played colors. But we see she has that, this yellow energy that's seemingly protecting her at first, and then it moves into this kind of, blue shield. And Eggman announces, "That is not how it's supposed to work. What have you done to my Dynamo Cage?" And Surge just mocks him. "Puh, you genius doctor types think you know everything." And she, powered by the Dynamo Cage, dashes towards Eggman, dismantling all the egg pawns that she passes. "It's not your Dynamo Cage anymore. It's mine. And I'll use it my way." And she gives him just a little bit of, like, static electricity just to mock him. Man, you're lucky Sonic at the top of my hit list. Don't get too comfy, Doc. I'll be back for you. And she turns to, like, pure electricity, like we saw on the cover, and leaves him. And just, like... Or maybe, like, I figure it would be, like, her, like, going through, like, the cables or something as electricity. But we see on the next page, she does have to, like, burst out of the tower, like, breaking through it. But yeah, I love Surge here. Just, like, the pure power she radiates, the pure, like, confidence, even if she will inevitably not succeed, it's just really cool to see. Taking even Eggman by surprise. And with that, she zips out of Imperial City with her newfound power to a place a good deal outside of it in a canyon area, which I thought the city was surrounded by a forest. I thought we saw that back in 49. Though I might be slightly misinterpreting events, I'm not sure. But Surge just reacts, "That rocked!" And as she's, like, celebrating, we see more electric power emanating from her. A minute more and he would have been crying for his mama. Testing this baby out is going to be fun. And then someone approaches. Is Starline not dead? Because I just saw that bottom right panel there. It might be, like, a ghost in her imagination. That's my hope, is that, like, Starline isn't back already. Because even though I do think Starline will return at some point, I want him to be gone for a while. But, like, as a ghost in Surge's mind, I think could work really well. As, like, a symbol of her trauma. And the way Surge kind of works is that for Kit is there's a nice little image there. Anyway, I'm sure all the other kids will be very impressed by your schoolyard bullying prowess. Ugh. And she turns and recognizes Starline. Surprise. Miss me? Your new accessories are certainly a choice. And Surge just panics. You're gone! Oh, that? It'd be more of a problem if I were real. So yeah, he is just a figment of her imagination, her own trauma. That little number's got you running on overdrive, including your brain, minimal as it may be. Perhaps I'm your fever dream. As to why you've sought my counsel, well, it'd take all day to get to the root of that. So it's not just, like, it's not quite the same way that, like, because especially because, like, Kit doesn't see ghosts of Surge, but, like, you can tell the way that he's still distinctly in fear of her. I pointed that out last time in my discussion of his dynamic with Sonic. And we see that, you know, this isn't quite on the same level, but it is sort of the Dynamo Cage. What's the word I'm looking for? Fuck, I'm blanking. My interpretation, there we go, on what Starline is saying here is that, like, these feelings of like, whatever feelings it represents to Surge are there. It's just the Dynamo Cage is making it larger, making it more prevalent. As to why he's not my counsel, well, it'll take all day to get through with that. And Surge tries to pull it off. It's doing what? Oh, no way. And Starline tells her, yes, as she tries to take the Dynamo Cage off, yes, you're much better off without it. Beaten, weak, alone, and that stops her. And she just tells him, I'm not going to listen to you. You aren't? Then who are you talking to? And Surge then uses the Dynamo Cage to zap where Starline is standing, but he's a ghost. That's not really going to do anything. But we see the little, like, the burnt spot on the ground where she hit. And we just leave her there. I was expecting Starline to, like, come back and be like, you know that's not going to do anything, right? But we then cut to the next day. As Tails is wrapping up Sonic's sprained leg so it can heal, as Tails tells him, there, done. Give it a try. And Sonic feels it. Feels great. Nice work, Doc Prower. And we see Kit in a very similar mental state from what I described last issue. Do you need more ice, sir? Like, he is terrified of Sonic. The way he's acting as this, like, servant role, he's not in a good state right now. Like, he needs some character work done before he can fully be, like, before he can truly say he's doing better. And we see that here. Sonic tells him, no thanks. And Kit, desperate to be useful, more bandages? I'm okay. You can chill, Kit. And Kit tells him, I'm sorry. I'll do better. Because, yeah, he is, because he sort of replaced the Surge in his mind with Sonic, he thinks Sonic will react the same way as Surge to any perceived failure. And that's just not who Sonic is. And Kit needs to learn that. And if there's any author I trust with that, it is Evan Stanley. That is sort of what she does, is, as we saw with Belle's stuff, it is that good character work that makes her writing stand out. But Sonic goes on, you're good. Why don't you put the first aid stuff away? Yes, sir. And even Belle is kind of cringing at just what's going on with Kit right now. And Tails then turns to Belle, how's it going? There was a lot of damage. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, or even what I'm looking for. Is this? Oh, this is Motobud. They're trying to put Motobud back together because they had to break him because he was Ray. But don't worry, I'll figure it out. I have to. And Tails then turns to Sonic. Sonic, what are we gonna do about Kit? Well, I was gonna start with the truth about him, right, because Kit still believes that Surge is dead. Or no, Sonic believes that Surge is dead. Kit does not know that Sonic thinks he killed Surge. None of them know exactly what happened to Surge. And that shocks Tails. Are you sure? We can wait. Give him some time. Surge and Starline were his family, as messed up as that is. He deserves to know. Oh, because Kit doesn't even know that Starline's dead. So, yeah, I mean, they were not exactly a good family for Kit, but sure, we'll see how this turns out. And Kit comes over to Sonic. I wasn't sure where to put the box. I'm sorry if it's in the wrong place. Am I in trouble? Yeah, this is a traumatized child. You need to, he needs help. He needs fucking help. And Sonic kneels down to be at Kit's eye level. You might want him to take the water pack off before you have this conversation, before he goes ballistic. Kit, there's something I need to tell you about what happened in the city. When I was fighting Surge, the ground was unsteady. Oh, I love this line here. She fell and was buried. We see Kit kind of faded out and shrinking back beneath this black background. In that fourth panel there, you can still see he's just a little dot. As the words that Sonic is saying get more and more faded. I tried to help, but she was a proud fighter to the end. And Belle saw Starline take Eggman on. He's gone too. Nobody can come back from that. I don't even think Kit is hearing by the end. He hears that Surge is supposedly dead, and he just cannot function. And Sonic finishes telling Kit, I'm sorry. I did what I could. They're gone. And Kit... Oh, I love the contrast here, too. Meanwhile, across town... I'll get to that in a minute, because Kit does not... He doesn't react at all. He's just dead inside, which, this poor boy needs help. This poor boy needs some... I don't think there are therapists in the world of Sonic, but he needs someone to, help him through all of this shit. Because he's just not been having a good time. Meanwhile, across town, in contrast to Sonic's They're Gone, the citizens are being shocked by electricity. I'm back, Central City. Miss me? I've got a new toy, and I'm itching to try it out. Anybody want to volunteer? And we see that, she's using the electric powers of the Dynamo Cage to levitate a bunch of cars. But also, did the citizens of Central City even, know her? They were aware of the shit that she caused, right? The sort of the electric malfunctions, the panic back in, I think it was 48, I want to say. Might have been 47. I think it was 48. But I don't think they knew who was behind it. Still, Surge does. And then... Oh, she's holding on to this, she's holding on to, the wires from the light, from the lamppost. She's using that electricity to power the Dynamo Cage right now. And then something cuts through the wire, and we see it as Whisper with her Wisps. as Surge sees her. Ooh, I like your style. Got a name? I like to know who I'm pounding into the pavement whenever possible. And we see the Wisps are talking to Whisper, whose mask can translate Wisp talk. She's not so scary. We can take her, is the purple one. And Orange says, agreed. It would be unconscionable to allow this brutish display to continue. Oh, did we see that in the Tangle and Whisper miniseries? We might have, but it's been a couple years since then. And Surge turns to Whisper. Not much of a talker, are ya? And Whisper uses her Wispon to blast into the air and just whispers, you're not worth the effort. And Surge gets on to her. You think you're smart, huh? Try dodging this one. And the blue Wisp powers up the Wispon. Oh, I hope this is over soon. And Whisper smashes her Wispon into the car, causing Surge to duck away. Jeez, it's like one of those knives with all the little bits in them. Okay. Oh, so some of the Wisps are, like, attacking her. I don't really know what those knives he's talking about are, but okay. Whatever. Who cares you got stuff in that umbrella hammer blaster thing? You'll still fry just fine. And she tries to make it the attack, but she's out of power. I guess using too much on her earlier assault. I'm out of charge already? She's old enough to, like, hide behind a mailbox. Crap. This gizmo is draining me faster than I thought. There's gotta be something I can do. Get some more power. Which ties in with what Starline's ghost thing told her. I am just a little curious, though, how, like... If that Starline, now that I think about it, was just a figment of Surge's imagination, how did it know anything? Right? Like, sure, Starline may have known that, but I don't think that... Well, like, the Starline could have said things in a Starline-like way, but the only information that a figment of Surge's imagination can have is what Surge knows. I'm probably thinking too hard about it. I don't think it's really that deep. But anyway, crap. This gizmo is draining me faster than I thought. There's gotta be something I can do. Get some more power. And then she grins. Oh, right. I think trying to drain the Wispon. And she charges from behind the mailbox. And Whisper fires out the pink Wisp. And she takes that buzzsaw straight to the chest. Or she would have. Instead, she uses that power, like Cubot said was the original use of the Dynamo Cage, to get stronger. It worked, and she just, like, glows with energy. Some of it her own natural blue, and some of it the Wisp's pink. I love this thing. And Whisper panics there as Surge rushes her, and just, like, grabs one arm on the Wispon, one on the mask, to slam her to the ground. My turn. And one of the Wisps comes up to try to pick a fight with Surge, and Surge just grabs it. Whisper calls, Pink! So this is your trick, huh? Keeping so much power to yourself? You should really learn to share. And Whisper calls, No! But, does that actually kill the Wisp? Like, I know when it's used with a Wispon, it sure doesn't die, but, like, that looks like that Wisp got crushed in Surge's hands. And she's now glowing with power. Whoa. Oh! Now this is what I'm talking about. Okay, because when she got the buzzsaw, that was not a Wisp turned into a buzzsaw. That was a bit of energy in the shape of the buzzsaw. Whereas this is a full Wisp's energy powering her. And she is very powerful. The Cyan Wisp tells Whisper, let me blast that. And then Surge jumps in front of Whisper from way over there. Trying to run? Really? When I'm not done with you? And Whisper just mentions, Blue, I need you. But we see she's, like, crying at the death of Pink there. What I think is a death. And we see Blue powers the Wispon. Yeah, show me what you got. And Whisper slams it into Surge. And it just doesn't do anything. That's it. And after you got me all riled up, too. So Pink is not dead. Because Whisper just says, give Pink back. And of course, Surge does not do it, as she slams Whisper into the ground, pass, and shatters the Wispon. We see she's still holding onto a part of the Wispon, as the rest is with Whisper. And then she takes that into the Dynamo Cage. And then meanwhile, back at Tails' house, they're all about to learn about Surge's survival, including Kit. So we'll see what Kit does, because Kit is still deeply traumatized by that woman. So Jewel tells Tails, something's happening downtown, but we keep getting conflicting reports from Central City. Tangle and the rest of the volunteers are scrambling to deal with the damage from that badnik attack the other night. Are you in the area? Oh, right, because they're still dealing with 49. And Tails tells her, yeah, and Sonic's here too. Don't worry, we'll check it out. And Sonic tells her, yep, we got this. Oh, thank goodness. Good luck, you two. And Tails just questions, do we have this? And Sonic tells them, it sounds like we kind of have to. And Belle tells them both, I'll stay with Kit. Somebody should be here for him. Yeah, Kit should not be going out right now. Kit does not need to see Surge alive. Anyway, Whisper, back at the fight, Whisper is trying to stand up against Surge, and is just failing. And Surge, now powered with all of the Wispons except Cyan. We see orange, blue, pink, green. Maybe there's more that I don't remember, but still, like 4 Wispon powers surging through her. It's been fun, but I'm starting to get bored. So what would you prefer? I'm itching to try out this rocket thing, but maybe the spikes of the various Wisp powers. It's what you did to me, after all. Just returning the favor. And Whisper desperately picks up a shard of her broken Wispon and tries to just shank Surge there. And Surge jumps out of the way. Whisper does nothing to her. And Surge manifests like a block from Blue's power to crush Whisper. Nice try. And someone called it's Starline's ghost again. Sloppy. Even with all that pilfered power, you're a mess. At least you're a consistent mess. And then Tails and Sonic arrive. As Tails notes, that's Whisper. But who's with her? And Sonic sees it. No way. Surge. She's alive. Doesn't look like the close callback at Eggy's made her rethink her life choices. Don't worry. I can handle her. And Surge glowing with the orange wisp. I don't care if you're not real. You're getting a beatdown. And Starline just mocks, oh, this should be fun. And then so she attacks as Tails lands, but of course does nothing to the ghost of Starline. Aiming a little low, don't you think, who appears like a finger gun to her head. Shut up! And then she sees Sonic has arrived. So that looks like gonna be the setup for the next issue. And I love the way the word "you" there is drawn with ice. She's so mad, it chills the blood. Hey Sparky, glad you made it out. What's with the fancy headgear? Our last little chat got cut short. Now where were we? Right, because Sonic is still gonna try to redeem her, I think. But the two of them go at it in the background as Tails takes Whisper to safety and tells her, just lay low. Once we've sorted Surge out, we'll get you back to the lab. And Whisper takes off her mask to tell Tails, Tails, I need them back. And that is one of the few, that I there is one of the few Whisper lines to not be in dotted line there, which is, or maybe it's meant to be, is just the black background there sort of obscures that. I like to think of it as her finally speaking loud. And Tails tells her, we'll save them, Whisper. Stay safe. Oh, and then we see Belle watching the news, and we see Kit behind her with only one eye visible to emphasize that he's watching too. And Surge is right about to be on TV. Eyewitness reports claim to have seen overturned cars and injured civilians. And yet we get another shot of Kit's eye. Authorities strongly advise that citizens avoid the downtown area until the threat can be assessed and contained. And Belle hears a creak as Kit stands up to leave. Gah! Kit, no! Oh, no. It's not him seeing Surge. He just still wants to help. He wants to help Sonic because he feels like he has to. I want to help. And Belle slams the door in his face. Gears and starters! You have to look after yourself. Look after myself. Why? Oh, he's going back into that rage state. I was made for her. She's gone. But Sonic can use me too. Yeah, he really just sees himself as a tool. I won't lose him. I can't. And Belle tries to reach out to him, pulling her tail to start like a quick knockout fight. Look, you're going through a lot right now, but yeek! And she does this little spin thing to dodge his water whip. Stop. We can talk. She grabs onto like a little platform near the ceiling as Surge comes for her. And Surge cuts not Surge, Kit. As Kit comes for her, Kit cuts the chains holding the platform up, and Belle falls. As Kit leaves, and Belle tries to reach out to him. You already matter. But Kit is not really accepting that. Is not accepting the literal helping hand there. As he blasts off to help Sonic. And as the next time reminds us, Surge and Kit reunited. It won't end well for anyone, especially Kit's mental state. And given, if this reunion were like a couple issues from now, I could see the climax of Kit's arc being Surge ordering Kit back to her, and Sonic reaching out, reminding Kit of the hand of friendship that they've extended to him, and Kit taking that hand and fully accepting himself as his own person, regardless of Surge. Kit right now will not do that. He literally admits to seeing Sonic as a replacement for Surge. That line to Belle, I was made for her, she's gone, but Sonic can use me too. That is literally, because there's no Surge, he'll help Sonic. But there is Surge, he's right about to find Surge. Which is not going to end well for Kit's mental. Kit does not need to go back to Surge right now. Maybe Surge can be redeemed. This is Sonic, and so many characters are reformed villains. But, Surge is not there yet. And the last thing Kit needs is to go back to that same deeply abusive relationship that defined his dynamic with Surge. Because at least he still replicates that dynamic with Sonic, but at least Sonic is desperately trying to help there. I missed the next time cover. Is Surge trying to drain the last of the Wisps as she gets even more power as the fight in Central City continues. But yeah, let's talk this whole issue. There's a lot of good shit here. I think it's a smart idea to not have Surge go for Eggman, because of course Surge is not going to beat Sonic, and so we don't need to if Surge and Eggman did fight here, and it's a bit of a weird cop out that they don't, that Surge is I'll deal with you after Sonic, when he's still part of her plan to destroy it all, and so you'd think she would still go for Eggman while he's literally in her grasp, but either Eggman wipes the floor with Surge, or Surge beats Eggman, and that would cause Eggman has to be the strongest villain or whatever. That it would be a whole hullabaloo if that happened. So I think it's smart on Stanley's part that she did not really go that route. It's a bit contrived, but I think it makes for a better story in the end, to not deal with Surge and Eggman right now. I love the notion of Starline's ghost. I think that's such a, as it really sets up this sort of cycle of trauma, Starline to Surge and Kit, but especially Surge, because Surge herself acts as that force of trauma for Kit, which begs the question, can they break the cycle? Can Kit ever, as long as Surge is alive, get free of Surge's control? Can Surge, even with Starline dead, break free of Starline's grip on her? Does she have that capability? And that's sort of the question that Starline's appearance here is asking. Is she trapped? And while Surge's problems are enough to clamp down on any serious pity for her, I still do pity her here. She's in a terrible position. She's making the worst of it, but it is still a terrible position. And then, you know, we get... I love the concept of the bit where Kit learns about Surge's supposed fate. The blurry dialogue, the, like, shrinking Kit amidst the black background. It's really cool. It's a really good, like, sort of thing that can only really work in a comic book effect. It's really nice. And then, of course, the Surge Whisper fight is just a lot of fun as Surge gains more and more power, solidifying her as the current big threat. And then, of course, Sonic arrives and Starline's ghost arrives, and there's all that good stuff as that fight looks to continue into the next. I briefly glimpsed the next... I think the solicits are out through 56, and I briefly glimpsed through those. And it looks like this fight will be going on until 56. So there's going to be plenty more Sonic Surge action that will only be complicated by the coming arrival of Kit. And like there's so much good stuff going on here. There's, you know, Kit's storyline, there's Kit's sort of character arc, Surge's just, you know, inconsolable rage at the world that fuels all of her actions. Now, Whisper has this revenge for her wisps that have been absorbed by Surge. She thinks she can still get them back, and given this is a Sonic comic, she's probably right. There's just all of these good pieces going on, and given this is Evan Stanley and her expert character work we've seen in the past, that's the stuff I'm really looking forward to. Kit, you know, for a long time, Belle was the character whose like character arc and character development was like most central to Stanley's story. It's looking like it's going to be Kit here. You know, Belle has had her development, and now we're really seeing how, you know, we're focusing much more on Kit than we were on Belle, and I can't wait to see what all comes of that. So with that said, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video issue and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, you know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!